Welcome to the Best Counsel, aka Advice I Can Offer podcast. First, I would like to make the following disclaimer. This is not an advice podcast. I do not offer advice. I offer what I consider to be counsel. Counsel is what I have learned and what I have experienced in my life journey. If something I say on this podcast resonates with you and can help you, good. But I am not telling you what to do. I am just offering counsel. Welcome to podcast 06 of the Best Counsel, aka Advice I Can Offer. Today's podcast is entitled, I Still Believe in Ponies. I would like to begin this podcast by acknowledging the late founders of Amway Corporation, Rick DeVos and Jay Van Andel. I would like to acknowledge Rich and Jay because of their vision to establish an organization that emphasized positive thinking and motivation. Although I was involved in Amway for only a short time, the time I spent in Amway was invaluable to my personal growth. One of the positive lessons I learned in Amway was a story I heard on a tape that I received from my Amway sponsor. It taught me the power of a pony. The story goes, there was a young woman who grew up in the city, and sure enough, she married a farmer. And before you know it, she was on the farm. And before you know it, she was pregnant with twins. She gave birth to two twin boys who were identical in every way except one. One of the boys was a pessimist of the worst order. Nothing was ever good, everything was bad, everything was wrong, everything was terrible. But the other boy was an optimist. To him, everything was good, life was great, life was beautiful. No matter what happened, everything was good. The differences between the two boys began to drive their mother crazy. So one day, she threw the two boys in the car and drove them to the city to see a psychiatrist. She walked in the doctor's office and threw both boys on the couch and said, "Doc, I don't care what you got to do, but you got to even them up a little bit." The doctor said, "I think I know what to do." She said, "Anything." He said, "They have a birthday coming up, right?" She said, "Yes." He said, "This is what I want you to do for that pessimist. I want you to go out and buy him all the finest and best toys you can and put them in a room." She said, "Fine, okay, no problem. But what about that other one?" The doctor said, "You have manure out there, right?" She said, "Yes." The doctor said, "I want you to get a big box and fill it with manure and put it in a room with him." She said, "Okay." So, on the day of their birthday, she did as the doctor said. She bought all the best toys she could and put them in a room with that pessimist. And she found a big old box and filled it with manure and put it in the room with that optimist. About 20 minutes passed and she could not take it anymore. So she crept to the door where the pessimist was. Soon as she looked in and opened the door, she saw all the toys had been tore apart. And over in the corner, crying and complaining was that little pessimist saying, I never get anything. I never get anything good. His mother said, oh my God, he's gotten worse. Then she remembered and she ran down to the hall where the other boy was. She burst into the room only to find this little boy elbow deep in the box, throwing manure all over the place. She picked him up and looked at him and said, what's wrong with you? He looked her in the eyes and he said, Mommy, you can't fool me. Where there's manure, there must be a pony. Folks, I don't care who you are, what color you are, what ethnicity you are, gay, straight. At some point, we all will find ourselves in a room full of manure, and it stinks. But it is my hope that instead of giving up and having a pity party to complain about the stench of life sometime, that instead you will get in that box and start digging for a pony. Because I still believe no matter what the situation that we will find ourselves in, if we don't give up and if we only keep digging, we will find our pony. I hope something I said encouraged you. And if so, go out and share it with someone you care about. And follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at thebestcounsel.com or at Corn Brown. Take care, and I look forward to talking with you soon.